welcome everybody. Liza, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to hearing your story, and just let you take the floor.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. So this is definitely very informal, so you can tell me to be quiet at any time if you guys want to ask any questions. Let's see if my little clicker is going to work for me. So I'm just going to start really quick. Well, maybe it's not. All right. So I just want to start with this because this is very important. I feel like I need to stand. I'll sit here for now. So who is Liza? I grew up as a middle class, very middle class. So I Mexican danced. My family owned a Mexican restaurant. There's a reason why I'm telling you this, because my grandparents here on the top corner, they had the restaurant. So I literally grew up there and did every single job. I got fired probably about 52 times and rehired. True story. But the coolest thing is that hindsight now, being a business owner, I have so much respect. I always respected my grandfather, but now I have so much more respect because I now get it, of the whys of being frugal with the napkins. Like, you don't need 62 napkins to pick this little puddle of water, or like wasting things and things like that. But that was a huge part, definitely, of my life and growing up. I would really, oh, it's working, yay. All right, so family first. Family is everything. This is my husband, Corey. I will tell you that we have our roles in our family, and he holds the family down, 100%. I am doing all the things, and he's the biggest support, and I am so blessed to have a best friend, a companion. He knows I'm crazy. He knows I'm on level 500 all the time. He is the complete opposite of me, which is great. Somebody as crazy as me would not work. All right, let's go. And then these are my children. Well, first of all, there's my sisters and my parents. My sister Felicia, the one right next to me, she actually is my manager at the gym. And then my sisters, and then my parents. These are my whys. I talk about a whys all the time. These are my whys. My son Fabian, he's 17, and then my daughter Layla, she's 7, and she is the boss of everybody. Facts. Look at her sassiness. Yeah. She's sassy. So let's get into my story. So the reason I started LP Fitness is, I'll tell you, 14 years ago, I was the heaviest that I'd ever been. I was actually pretty cool with being that heavy. I was fine with it, honestly. And I always talk about everybody has an aha moment. And my aha moment was when I couldn't bend over and tie my shoe. And I was kind of like, oh, dang, you know what? Should probably do something about this. So all of a sudden, I was like, all right, I'm gonna join Weight Watchers. So I needed somebody to tell me stop eating for the day, because I was not educated at all on how to do this. So with Weight Watchers, they tell, well, I don't know the program now, but back then I knew I had 21 points a day. But I knew that I can have a runza for 7 points and a French fry for 6 points. And then whatever the math is, the leftover, I would have that, but I wouldn't fuel my body properly, right? So I would have that food, but it did stop me from eating so much per day. So I slowly started losing the weight. I got down to about 50, but this is the Liza that that was terrified to go to the gym, did not want people looking at me, didn't know what I was doing. And that's why I have such a passion for this now, because I do everything that I hated, I make sure it doesn't happen at my gym. So with this being said, let's fast forward. So I started teaching myself to run. That was what I felt safe with. I did not go to a gym in the beginning. I would walk a block, run a block, 2 blocks. Like, literally taught myself that. I felt safe doing that. Got to about a mile, 5K. I mean, not this fast, but you know. But ended up, that was my thing that I did. So finally dropped the 50 pounds or so. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm not building any muscle. And I'm not really knowing how to I wasn't educated enough on how to fuel my body correctly to tone during this process. So my aunt had asked me, she's like, hey, there's this boot camp. Do you want to come try it? And I was like, all right, fine. So I went to this boot camp, and come to find out, I absolutely loved being told what to do. And then to teach me how to do the things, and then to do things outside of my comfort zone. So I was like, all right, I kind of like this. So I started going. It was just this boot camp. It was off to the side. There was like 6 of us. It was a very safe, comforting environment. Let's fast forward. The owner of that boot camp had said, hey, have you ever thought about being a coach? I was like, me? And again, this is me. This is, you know, I'm not in fitness. Like, why are you asking me this? And he's like, well, I just see something in you. He saw something in me that I didn't know that I had. So let's fast forward. I ended up teaching at this person's gym for 5 years. It was awesome. It was great. I'm very incredibly blessed to have that opportunity. So life happened, all the things. So I decided to stop teaching just for personal reasons. Well, at that time, I got a Facebook message. Someone's like, oh my gosh, don't stop. What are you doing? Why don't you just at least have a boot camp in the park? And I was like, well, all right. So I put on Facebook, hey friends, $10, Holmes Lake, bring all your stuff. Well, I had 20 people show up. I was like, hold up. The money that I was getting there for the 1 hour and the one, I was like, the math again isn't mathing. So I ended up having boot camp at the park. It was on Saturdays. It started in September. So what happened is that it started getting cold, obviously. So I started having more people showing up. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do with this? Now mind you, I work at State Farm this whole time. This is always my side thing. Working at the other gym, it's always my side thing. So then I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with it? So then I ended up finding a gym that I was able to sublease at 7:30 at night when they were closed. Why not? It was fairly cheap, but 7:30 at night is not the most ideal time for people to work out. Some people love it. So I started building there. Well, then at this time I started, I had like these little physical punch cards that I made. So now they paid me up front and I owed them. So now I'm a little bit like, and morally, that's just how I am, a very loyal person. So I was like, oh geez, what am I doing this? Let's keep building it. Well, what happens is that place ended up closing. On to the next. Then there's this place. What had happened there, they gave me a 2 weeks. They were like, oh, guess what? This isn't working, we're closing. So.
They gave you 2 weeks notice?
Yes, because again, it was my side gig and they didn't really care about me.
Okay.
They had to close the doors and I was like, well, shoot. Now again, I owe these people these classes. I'm a very big, firm believer of fate, timing, my gut, and you'll hear that here in a second. So what had happened is one of my best friends, her husband was driving down Cotner, 66 in Cotner. There's an old man barber shop there. There's a nice, beautiful vape shop right there on that corner. I was smack right in the middle. I ended up getting my own first little baby gym, and I call it baby gym because it was 1,200 square feet. It was a crap hole. Don't cuss, Liza. When it rained inside, it rained outside, and I'm not kidding you. But it was 4 walls, and it was mine, and I could do whatever I want, and I could do any times. So at that time, I had 2 staff, me and one girl, and a front desk who kind of just checked people in. So it kind of built up a little bit more. I found that I loved this, but there was so much more potential that I couldn't give because I worked full time. So let me tell you about State Farm. I worked at State Farm for 23 years. I was an analyst. As you get to know me, I am not an analyst. I have ADD, like I'm crazy. But anyways, I worked there for 23 years, and on a random Tuesday, and I'll always remember this, and every time I talk to this, it gives me chills. I text my husband, and I had told him, Corey, I was like, if I am going to do LP Fitness, I have to do it now. There's so much potential, and I believe in my soul that I need to be done with this, or continue with this. So that Tuesday from lunch, I never went back. I just dipped. Probably not the smartest thing, and then I always tell, if I probably would have talked to like 3 or 4 people, they'd have been like, let's not do that. Let's just at least go back. Because, I made good money, pension, 401, things that you need. So then I ended up quitting. Best decision of my life, scariest decision. So at that time, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell did I just do? So I love talking about entrepreneurship and business because I could tell you my story. And my story is being a personal trainer has 0 to do with running a business. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know that. So at this point, again, quit my job. I got an email from Gym Launch. So Gym Launch, they wanted to do a podcast on me. And I was like, oh my God, me, Lincoln, Nebraska? Like, I must be famous. No, it was their marketing thing. So what they did is at this time, they interviewed me. They interviewed me about my gym. Well, this podcast changed my life, and I will tell you why, because they had told me about a business that they had where they helped gym owners only. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that thing out there existed. teaching you sales, lead nurture, your metrics, like all of these things I did not know how to do. Well, how much was it? It was $20,000 that I did not have. So again, what did I do? Let me call my rich aunt. Okay, I swear to you, this gym is gonna work. I will pay you back, but she believed in me as well. I am telling you, it has now been, I'm going on my 3rd year with Gym Launch, and it was the best absolute decision I've made. They are what has helped me structure my business, meaning everything. There's a rhyme or reason for everything, and I love talking about it, but it's down to when you walk in at the table, you're gonna see Google ads, you're gonna see transformations, you're gonna walk and see before and afters. There's just so many things behind the scenes that I just didn't even know. Retention, ways to keep, retention's huge. I'm just so educated on all of this that I love it now, and I love talking about it, but there's systems, there's our SOPs now. I have a standard operating procedures, 4 standard operating procedures. I have so many systems in play where I'm so excited because the goal, and again, I'm being patient, is for this to be a McDonald's, minus the bad food, where it mimics, you know what I'm saying? It's wherever you go, you're gonna get the same service, the same everything. A little off script, I just got back from GymCon. GymCon is a convention with all gym owners. I was there in Florida, SeaWorld Resort, did not party. It was a lot of work, I'm not kidding you. But I was able to bring my management. I brought all 4 of us so we could all hear the things. I am a super fan of Alex and Leah Hormozy. If you don't follow them, that's one of my books I'm reading. If you don't follow them, you should. The reason I love them is because they're simple and they talk to you, do this and this will happen. It's not, let me throw all the big words to you to make you feel not educated and dumb. That does not resonate with me very well. So there's that. Now let's talk about what happened once I hired them. I restructured everything. So my baby gym, it was classes, and then you could have nutrition, but it was extra. So what would happen is people would come to my gym and someone wouldn't see results because they weren't doing the nutrition. And I'm like, what are you eating? You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't help them. All right, so you know what? I am rebranding, I'm restructuring. I am gonna be Lincoln's only transformation center. What that means is that everybody who walks in my door is gonna get help with working out. If it's the first time you've done anything or the millionth time, we've got you. I was already talking about it earlier. Form is everything. You're not gonna come in and do heavyweight and crappy form. Muscle confusion. Bunch of different workouts, never the same. Again, my ADD comes into play, don't bore me. Music's a big part. I would go to lots of gyms and I hated the music, so music's a big part. But everybody who comes into the gym gets nutrition. I am very, teach their own because I did all the things, but I am very much about lifestyle. Macronutrients is protein, carbs, fat, and veggies. Real food. I have steak, potatoes, and a side salad meal prep for lunch today. Real food. But we teach you it. Baby steps. Let's walk through it. We have a separate nutrition meeting. Give you a list of foods, give you a template of a day. Here's how you meal prep. Everything that I wanted when I was trying to go through my journey. But the third part, the most probably biggest thing is the accountability. And Davey will know that we use the app called Voxer. It's a walkie-talkie. Every meal, every single day, you send me pictures of your food. So I can help you, not judge you. Hey, that's not enough food, because a lot of people think less is more or better, and it's not. But it's to guide you and have that. I needed this. This is everything that I needed. Hey, I'm dying for something sweet. It's just about lifestyle. And I love teaching this. The other part of my gym is that we incorporate mental health. People don't do that. People don't talk about it. It's part of our onboarding. We talk about it. We have a workshop quarterly where I have a nutritionist, a therapist that comes to talk about the correlation of nutrition and mental health. You guys know when you are fueling your body with good food and you are working out, you feel amazing. Your confidence, your shoulders are back. You're a better business owner. You're a better mom, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever you are in life. This is my gym. Music, I told you, is my thing. This is the outside of it. Jenny Craig used to be right next door, their offices. Currently, today, we're moving over there. It's called Transformation Headquarters. I just bought the offices. So now this is just an added value of You know, we may do what we had to do, but at the gym, I had one little space. That's where our meetings were, our goal-setting meetings. What is a goal-setting meeting? I am not your Planet Fitness. I'm not your $10 gym. I'm not. And I'll tell you all the time, because we're a premium gym, because you're going to get help with everything. But every single person that wants to come to the gym, we sit down and talk so I can learn about you, because this stuff's hard. You've been through some things. You've had different stories. So the meeting room, we have one little room that we had to like try to figure out, and then we'd have nutrition, and it's loud out there because again, my music. So I was like, wait a minute, we need headquarters. So right next door, we got the offices now. Me and my sister have our own office. That's where all the goal setting meetings, the nutrition, it's quiet. It's not black and yellow graffiti, it's gray. I have somebody doing the decorating. I don't know how to do all that. It's calm, peaceful, safe. The before pictures, the after pictures, those are for you. You never have to share. Everything's done there. So super love that part of it. And it's next door. That's our selfie ball. I just threw that in there. And this is my gym. It's changed quite a bit, actually. Probably need updated pics. But the biggest thing that I always talk to people about is that it is, when you are ready for this, I will never ever tell you, oh my God, you need to start this. Just like a smoker. If I tell you to stop smoking, you're gonna be like, girl, bye. You're gonna stop smoking when you wanna stop smoking. All I'll tell you is that if you ever want to have us help you, we will absolutely, and I will give you all your money back. You will reach your goals unless you don't do it. You know, I can't help you that. But here's just some before and afters. The difference of every single person that walks in the gym is that we have every size, age, shape, and color, which makes me so happy. I'm really big about the diversity that I have in my gym, and it makes me very happy. But you will see 76-year-old Cheryl doing burpees. You will see every age, but everybody has a different why. And I talk about that often. There's people that don't need to lose weight, that need to work on their muscle mass. Every day being alive, we lose muscle mass. I don't want to fall off a chair, which I'm very clumsy, so it could happen, and break a hip. You know, it's so much about building muscle, your insides being healthy. If you have a bad back, core strength, like all the things. And then this is my team. So it was a team of one, or I guess I'm not a team. It was me first, and now I'm a team of, and there's some not there, I'm a team of 23, which is insane. And now the coolest thing ever is my gym runs without me. I tell this when I first met my coach, Ryan, he had told me so many things, and I'm like, that's not gonna work in Lincoln. Like, it's not gonna work. People aren't gonna pay that. People are not gonna come to the gym if they don't come to my class. And now it's like, Liza who? Like, who's Liza? And I'm like, rude, first of all. But I'm okay with it. But I love it because every single person, and I am not kidding you, has a love for fitness and helping people. That is non-negotiable. And I was talking about it earlier. I can have 35 classes a week, but I will teach every class before I hire a crappy personal trainer, because it's about the quality and the value. Every single person in my gym is certified, even my front desk. Nobody has that. Because I want somebody to, if they see you over there confused and you're maybe doing a really bad squat that's gonna hurt your knees, I want somebody to be able to go over there and help you. Super huge. You know, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but we won a Lincoln Choice Best Place to Feel the Burn last year and this year. I'll tell you why it's very special no matter what. But the fact of the matter is we were up against two big box gyms, and I'm not a big box gym. I'm a boutique gym. That's what they call us. And so we've got that Best of Lincoln. So proud of all of this. But again, this is my team, my staff, my everybody. And then just a little plug, if anybody's ever interested, you can try a week for free. Like, just get the vibe. Sit down and talk to us anytime. We're really big about you and when it's ready for you. But I'll leave you with this. It's one of my favorite quotes, is just do something that your future self will thank you for. Do you guys have any questions? Hi.
Hi. So you provide nutrition services as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter-in-law she has a master's degree in dietetics.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what kind of training you went through, or is it just simply knowledge that you're passing on?
We're all certified. Okay. Nutrition, yep. We have a certain nutrition program that we go through AFA, and then there's the nutrition, things like that. Some have the degree that they actually went to school for nutrition, otherwise it's the certifications.
Got it.
Yep.
And then one other question.
Yeah.
What's the significance of the green Honda?
You know, I actually didn't even talk about that. That's like a big part, is because I would pile everything in the back of that beat up Honda. And it's so funny because I drove that thing off the lot for 20 years. I'm not kidding you, because I was like, I don't want a car payment, and I didn't really care about cars. And it was falling apart. The bumper was falling off. I would throw the beginning stages of my SOPs were a bunch of liability papers threw in there. It was bad. And until one of my friends, she's like, "Can I just help you organize stuff?" And I'll just sign, because you know,
It's like a traveling gym almost?
It was. That's what it was actually. Should have.
So for like
The park.
Got it.
That was, yep, sorry, that would have made sense if I would have said that. That was the beginning of everything. It was the green Honda. So now I have an obnoxious Jeep Cherokee with my logo on it, so I have to like drive nice and be nice. And
How long does it take to get that certification with the nutritionist and like personal trainer?
it's usually about, well, it depends on its study time. It really is. It's self-study. So I've had it for years. Back in the day, they had just this big book that was Chinese to me. It was probably the hardest test I've ever taken, that and the personal training. But now it's evolved where you have videos and things like that, self-study. So I had a girl who just passed, and it took her 3 months. But she's a student and has lots of time. I had another gal who's a mom, you know, all the things. So it just depends. It really does. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued with the mental health aspect of your
Yeah.
company. I haven't really heard that too many gyms. A little bit like the YMCA.
Yeah.
Can you maybe talk about like your mental health journey of
Yeah.
what you went through when you started your business and what
Yeah.
you want to add that to your
Yeah, I love that. I think the biggest thing is like the feelings that I had going into the gym. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of not belonging. I just didn't fit in. And so I wanted to make sure that every part of that, you know, there's the depression aspect, because when I was heavier, I was filling my body with bad food. So that has a big impact on that. I think the biggest part and the reason why I did is so that we can actually, when we have the goal setting meetings, we kind of just hit on it. But at the nutrition is when we really dive in to, because that's when they're going to really share their whys and things. The correlation of it all is because I love hearing those things and the journeys that the individuals kind of went through and how it changes. And I am so serious. How everything changes when you start feeling your body and taking the hour for you. Your demeanor, your shoulders back, I'm telling you. So I just felt like having that part of it, and then when we have our workshops, having the therapist come out and give kind of their piece on it, because I am not a therapist. It's just put it to the forefront where nobody does. It's almost like always like an embarrassing kind of thing. I am anxious all the time. I have anxiety, but I'm on level 500 a million times. So it's just so much to it. So it was just, I'm gonna be a brat right now, but it's my gym and I can do what I want. And I'm gonna put all the things together that I love, and that's what one of them was, so.
I wouldn't call that being a brat.
I know.
Not at all.
So would you call that mind-body connection, or?
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%. We talk about it all the time at the gym. I am very big on what muscle group are you working? You know, have the connection. I don't want you to be doing arm curls and feeling your toes. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's think about what we're working. Is our core engaged? Is our shoulders back? Like, I'm really big about form. All of my staff is. Because I want you to feel confident too if you're not at my gym. I was just talking earlier, it's like I love teaching people fitness. If my place is not the gym, good for you to go to do Zumba. We don't teach Zumba. Or to go do CrossFit. We don't do Olympic lifting. The fact that you got up and did something for you, yay. Like, seriously, there's enough fitness for all of us. Like, really. So.
That's something that maybe, I'm sorry, that some entrepreneurs may not realize, that you are not going to be the be-all for everybody. Like, knowing your customer and knowing the value that you offer to that customer can make things so much easier.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that in the beginning of all this, I did not know my value. And I did a video on it and I talked about it. I did not. I felt less than. And now I absolutely know my value, because I know that you're going to reach your goals. Time and consistency. I don't lie or sugarcoat. I'm not going to tell you it's going to take a week or it's going to take 2 weeks, but I guarantee you, you're going to start feeling better. Like all of the things that come with it. And then again, my competition isn't the big box gyms. It really isn't. we're not having pizza on Tuesday nights, you know? That's a little dick. But.
Davey, you have
Saturdays only, Davey. You know.
Just to follow up on the mental health aspect, something that really surprised me. I've been a member of Liza's gym for 3 months now.
And had great results.
Amazing results. I mean, I've struggled with fitness like my whole adult life. Once you kind of get to a point where everything's pulling your attention in different directions and you can't really make it a focal point, it's been really nice to have somebody to kind of guide you in that aspect, to hold you accountable, to be there for questions. But also, one of the big things, before joining LP, I would focus on the scale a lot, as far as like that being your measure of progress. And that was one of the first things Liza like drove home with me and my wife was, it's not about the scale, and you don't pay attention to it, don't have that be your focus point, and see everything else like we celebrate the non-scale victories, which, you know, I think recently sent you like a week ago, like I don't even think about what the scale says. It's just like you feel so good, and you make those connections of doing the workouts, eating the right foods, to where it's like, it's that whole lifestyle change that when you commit to that process, that was just like, wow, I've never known this before, so it's awesome.
You're awesome. And now we're best friends. It just comes with it.
Added bonus.
I know. You get all the weird me messages.
You lit up to me last night at like 8 o'clock at night. It was awesome.
Well, I appreciate how Davey's talking about how his wife is enjoying the program so much.
Yeah. I love when I have couples too. And the coolest thing is to see each other support. The crazy thing, and I'm telling you guys, is I get a lot of wives or husbands that are not supportive. And when one starts being successful and feeling better, it's crazy. And I'm like, that is the person that you need to be the most healthiest. Like, that's your person. You should be the number one fan. So I appreciate those type, and I appreciate being able to share those so others see. Man.
In fact, that was one of the like turning points of when I first heard of Liza and met her, and I was like, okay, I told my wife, there's this gal, and I want to talk to her, but I have a feeling that like there's no like kind of dipping our toes in. If we do it, we're gonna do it. And I want to do it together. Like, I don't want to go on this journey without you. And my wife has literally never been a workout person. We've been married for 10 years, together for 16. She had started going to some classes at the Y the last couple months prior, but just a lot of the going to the gym and feeling inadequate because she didn't have experience in that, didn't know what to do, like felt weird getting into that new environment. But now she'll go sometimes in 2 classes a day in just such a short span of time. Just speaks testament to the community.
Marnie is the perfect person. You know, I say like day 1 to day a week to 2 weeks. Like Marnie's fitness level, so you don't have to come to the gym and do box jumps. People are always scared of that. Oh, my earring fell out. You don't have to do box jumps. You could walk up, walk down. Like, seriously. Marnie did a box jump, and you could tell she was like a little kid in a candy shop. It was the coolest thing ever. And I just hugged her. I was like, oh my God, this is such a big deal. Because those are such big wins. Yeah. I am so proud of her. So proud of her. Yeah.
I think I'm off of mute now.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Good morning.
Here.
Question for you. You just put a quote up there, do something your future self will thank you for. What is something you plan to do personally and with your business that your future self will thank you for?
Wow, thanks for asking, John. You know what, right now, since my gym, I don't know where to look, since my gym is kind of running by itself, it's not fully there yet, my next thing in life is I feel like I want to be a business coach. I've gotten the opportunity actually, and I haven't replied yet, but I'm thinking about it. But because I want to help other entrepreneurs, especially, I want to help everybody, but women, minority, business owners. I had to do a lot of asking. I didn't have a lot of these type of connections, but I love being that person for someone. Okay, go there for this, go there for this. Like, I love doing that. And then it just gives me the joy, and I think it's the same joy as it gives me to see people being successful in fitness and nutrition too. So, and then in regard to the gym, you know, right now I have somebody looking for a south location. That would be For the gym, I'm going to be patient and wait for the perfect place because we need parking. And since we just have the headquarters going, that will be the headquarters. And in my brain, it makes sense to have South and like Fallbrook and kind of that whole thing going. So God willing, we'll see what happens.
Great.
So right now, you just have the one location.
Yep, it's just right there at East Park Plaza. Yeah.
So we ask a lot of our speakers a couple questions.
Yeah.
I gave you
Yeah.
a little forewarning. So tell us about a local restaurant or local establishment that you like to give your business to, besides your own.
No, for sure. Oh my gosh, I am so much about supporting. So we just went to have coffee at the Harbor. It used to be, I think, the Migos on like 56 and Highway 2. Went there, it's a little coffee shop. The Post is it's a bar. They have chess and checkers. It's like an older people vibe. So I've been trying to give a lot of, we've went there just like me and my husband on date night and things like that.
And where's that located?
That is in the Telegraph District.
Okay.
It's super cute. Yeah, you should definitely go. It's Black owned. And then, gosh, we go everywhere. I make my husband take me on dates all the time. Laszlo's is always my favorite, one of my favorites. A quick little story is that a long time ago, me and my husband started dating. Laszlo's South was where we met, right? So he asked me on a date, and I'm like, fine, at this point, I didn't want to date anybody, but I went for a free meal. But it's funny because this is how I know that he's my soulmate, because I love time, and I'm always early. I mean, I was early today. And it was funny because Laszlo's, you wait forever, right? So I was like, hold up, I'm not going on a first date and sitting out in the lobby with some guy I barely even know, like weird. So I show up, I think 45 minutes, almost to an hour early so that I can have a spot in my brain. I'll be sitting at the table and then he can come in. I got there and he was already waiting for a table. I was like, I love you. Sorry, but that's my Laszlo. That's my Laszlo story. But we are so punctual, so it's so funny. All of our friends are like, the houses are gonna be, wherever 30 minutes early, because that's what we do. But
That's good that you found each other.
oh yeah, yin and yang for sure.
You talked a little bit about a book that you're reading.
Yeah.
Do you want to expound a little bit on
Yeah.
that, or any podcasts that you listen to?
Yeah, so right now it's been not that many because it's just been a little bit crazy, but I listen to $100 Million Leads. It's from Alex Hormozi, but when again, my ADD comes into play. So if I have time, I will open the book and I have to follow the words while listening, because that's how my brain works. So I've been doing that. I've tried, I think on Sunday I was able to relax for Mother's Day and I got some good time in for that. But podcasts, not really right now.
Okay.
I want to, I really do, but time.
Yep.
So.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so it seems like you have just a lock stock team too, and I think that's every business owner's dream is to have someone, just not some one person like yourself that is so driven for the betterment of not just yourself, but for every person that you run into. How do you cultivate that kind of environment for your community, for your family, and people that go there?
There's two parts to that. One is I have been blessed to hire all within my gym. So they have drank the Kool-Aid. They have had the success. They know what the standards are. So that's been really nice. Until this last week, I literally posted, I need more 9:15 and noon coaches. And for the first time, I need somebody to help me sell memberships, which that's always been me. So this is gonna feel different. So I have that out right now on WiseHire. If you guys aren't using WiseHire, I wanna tell you about it. It's great. See, I like to help people. It's an app that houses everybody who posted in Indeed, LinkedIn, all of them. It's all housed that one place. So you don't have to go and post in all these places. And there's a personality test that they have to take, all within. Anyways, you can turn it on and off at any time. It's great.
I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, well, I learned that at GymCon. Yeah.
Like a disc profile?
Yep, and because that's something important, because if you're a coach at the gym, you can't, like to be quiet and not talk to people, It's not gonna work. So anyways, but I think that's the question you asked. But the other thing is, Alex Hormozi, because we're besties. I have to say something. I'll tell you something else on that. But anyways, with that is that you also have to be as good as your weakest link, right? So yesterday I had to fire somebody, and I hate doing that, and I'm not good at it, actually. I need help with that, because I talk too much. You need to just tell the point, and so I need help with that. But anyways, I had to fire somebody because going to convention, Alex Hormozy did this whole thing on everybody has a Susan. Sorry if anybody's named Susan. But if you know in your heart that Susan is not doing the job that she's supposed to be doing, you've got to fire quickly. And I'm not good at that. I'm like, no, but they're really trying, they really want to work here, and I swear. So yesterday I had to fire Susan. And it was a tough conversation, it was hard, because she loves the gym, and she really wanted to, but she just didn't have it. So there's like the good and the bad.
Jim, somebody that you can talk to about that.
Help me, tell me. I left there, and my husband goes, how'd it go? I'm like, I just talked too much. I should have shut up about 5 minutes in, to the point. But I'm like, but I really love you. I mean, it turned into this real, like, I wanted to hug him. Well, no, they hate me now, probably. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, would recommend.
Okay, see, I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm bad at. So you could help me.
Another question that we ask, which I think I probably know this answer, but I'll let you answer it, is like, what gets you up in the morning? Like, what gets you perked up? What?
My why is my family, and my kids, and my husband. I am trying to build something that is never, like, I want them to have the best life. Yeah, and I want them to see that how hard mom works, and knows there's a reason why, and that, like, my job, I get to help people and change lives, literally. It's easy for me to get up and be positive. It really is. I'm a happy person. I don't know, I just have the best job ever. So my why is my children and building this legacy of whatever it turns out to be. So.
Any other questions for Liza? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Just want to give a plug in for a couple things that are happening here. We just started a book club. We're reading the American Flannel. It is about flannels, so if you want to join us, that's Tuesdays from noon to 1. We meet in 301, usually.
324 this time.
Okay, all right. I gave out bad information. 324. And next week for Perk Up, we will have open networking. Correct?
Ashley Tobias and Nolan Moore.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Again, I was not ready for that. I was going every other week. So I'm glad that we had somebody sign up for that week. So again, some time to network, to talk to each other. And again, thank you, Liza.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yep.
Can I throw out something quick?
Ashley
Now
Tobias.
that I'm more mobile, we'd be more than happy to have, if you want to have a cup of coffee, come over to the
Oh.
end and join the coffee.
Thank you, John.
Have a great week.
Yep, you too. Thank you, Karen. Even though we couldn't see you or hear you, we appreciate you being here.
Yay.